I can't take it. Secondly, as people in the struggle, we need to do more civic and political education for our fellows that are being bought to attend those rallies. Wanalipwa 500, 1000, 2000 to attend so that it looks like they have audience. They don't have audience. So we need to do more civic education. Hao watu wanakuja na maboda na kusema, we support the government. They don't support the government. They are suffering. But for some of them, they're too hungry to resist a 500 bob. So we need to come to a point where we ourselves educate each other and talk to one another beyond these spaces and show them the uselessness and the price of betrayal. I think we need to do more. But thirdly, I really think we must come to a point where the lawyers, LSK, and all legal entities, those that are on our side, we need to develop a scorecard of minimums with regard to those who can occupy office, so that we say, kama hauna these 3 things or these 5 things, then usikaribie uongozi. Because we have cheapened leadership in this country, so that it's only the politicians that can exploit that go into office. That's why they can vet these guys, and they're rotten to the core. The DPP keeps doing whatever they do to excuse them, and we just go on like nothing happens. Some people should never have leadership and their name in the same sentence. So we need a scorecard that we agree on before the next election, whenever it will be called. In the 2022 election, when I ran, EACC had singled out 241 people that were not fit to hold office. Most of them made it into office. That is where we are. So mkiniona na post vitu kuhusu values, it's not because I can't share my economic policy or education policy or whatever, even though I do. It is because I think it is the answer, that the character of a person matters. If their character is rotten, they should never even go through a nomination process. And this is something we can begin identifying now. Now, vijana, najua mambo ya leaderless, tribeless, and so on, imeshika sana mpaka I ask myself, so when we get these guys out of office, so who are going to be the leaders? Since the agenda is here and we understand what we want, then those of you who understand what we want should be getting ready to take over office. MCAs, MPs, we need Gen Zs that are governors, senators. If hata tukipata president ni sawa. I mean, we need to get ready, and professionals, kuna vijana that are good leaders, start grooming them, fund them, prepare them to take over leadership, so that nature abhors vacuum. So tuambiane ukweli, once Ruto goes with his system, we'll need good leaders, and some of you need to be sharpening your leadership skills and getting ready. All these graduates with degrees in leadership, administration, and all kinds of professions, we have to get ready. Lastly, ningependa kuomba hivi, if for any reason you are hearing us on this space, let us escalate beyond the X spaces. If hata kama unaelewa vernacular, call in, those talk shows, and talk about nane. Talk about a better country. Go into your WhatsApp groups if you're on WhatsApp. Mimi nimefungiwa Facebook, so that's why I'm mostly on X. Go wherever you have a chance. Ukiwa kwa matatu or whatever, talk about this, because the country is ready. We just need to mobilize and move. I really pray that all of us see that better country. But hii nchi ambayo iko na damu nyingi sana kwa, the ground is crying out. And I can, list them from independence until now. And inakuwa ni kama mambo na investigations, inakuwa a way of postponing. Ukisikia no stone will be left unturned. Actually, that's basically saying it's buried. So CDF wetu ndio huyo ameenda, Musando alienda hivyo, Baby Pendo ndio, yani we are so used to shedding blood mpaka Shakahola inakuwa ni kama a religious thing. It's a crime scene. The Kware thing is not even about the demonstrations. It's genocide. It's genocide. All those bodies at the city mortuary, these are citizens, children of parents like me. So we need to wake up. And Kenya, we need to be a little more angry than we've been. We really, wacha hiyo anger iboil. Wacha nitusiwe, I'm immune. I am immune to insults. Insult all you want. I feel nothing. But my anger shall rise until I see a new Kenya. God bless you all.
Now, I'm still waiting for Mr. Steve Mbogo to answer my question. Mr. Steve.
Yes. Paulo Kimana, thank you very much. Paulo, I think we had a problem from my end.
All right.
Because I'm a bit out of town. Yeah, but thank you for bringing up this topic. And as I speak as someone with a vast know-how on mineralogy, because that's one of my interests and one of my businesses. I am in active mining in East Africa, not only in Kenya, because you understand that in Kenya, getting the rights to concessions is close to impossible. So I've got interest in Tanzania, and right now I'm doing mining in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So when you talk about minerals in Kenya, you have to understand that Kenya is a very wealthy country in terms of our mineral deposits. And I think last time when I was invited to this space, I mentioned that we have a minimum of 970 minerals in this country. Talk of graphite, iron, copper, coltan, manganese, gold, diamond, cobalt, thorium, chromite, name them all, uranium, zinc. Kenya is a very wealthy country. And I based my conversation last time based on the formation of minerals. And we're told that minerals are formed due to changes of temperature and pressure in the ground. And we're so lucky as a country. We have so many areas that have these activities in the ground. And that's why we have so much minerals in this country. The only problem with this country is that a majority of these concessions were taken over from the 1940s, from the time of colonization. And the majority of the concessions that are owned by the blacks, or rather Kenyan natives, are owned by the big families, and they use these concessions as briefcase companies. So what most of these people do is they use these concessions and get borrowings or fundings from what you call hedge funds, and they don't really put them to use. Number two, the majority of miners who are actively mining in Kenya are doing it in secrecy. When I talk of secrecy, there is a very poor structure on the government to audit and understand the extent of mining activities from these companies that are mining in Kenya. We are told, as per the Ministry of Mining, that mining contributes less than 1% of Kenya's GDP, which really does not make sense. And the majority of minerals that are exported, the government earns royalties of about 3 to 4 to 5% only. And as per the 2016 Act, I think it's the 2016 Act of the mining, we are told that the sharing of royalties is 70% to the government, 20% to county governments, and 10% to the communities. The Ministry of Mining in itself says from 2016 to date, they have collected about 14.7 billion shillings. And from these 14.7 billion shillings, remember, the 10% and the 20% that is supposed to go to county governments and communities has not yet been disbursed. So we go back to structure. We also have a very bad structure when you talk of mineral exploration in Kenya. And I think it has been done by design because the cabals who control the mineral concessions in Kenya will not accept any Tom, Dick, and Harry to own or have a mining license in this country. That is why some of us, Apollo, it's good you asked me that question, will prefer to go and do mining in Tanzania because it's a business I know, I understand, and I have a passion for. Because I can get licenses easier there, I can get my returns in due time, and same as even countries like Congo. So you talk of some of the biggest companies that are doing mining in Kenya. I heard you mention Taita Taveta, and you said there's a value of about 260 billion. That is even way below the real figures of our mineral deposits in Kwale. Remember, Niobium in itself is of a minimum 200 billion. I want to tell Kenyans that in the Kwale area, in the area of, Taita Taveta, we have the largest deposits of diamonds in this country, which are controlled through proxies, and they are controlled by the biggest diamond company in Africa known as De Beers, who have fronts here to secure the area, and they're not doing mining at the moment. So when you talk of the issue of the airport, Apollo, I'm glad you clicked and understood that one of the major activities, and that's why these people need the airport, is because of the mining factor. A country like Base Titanium, Base Titanium is a company that does mining in Kwale. I remember when they opened up their investment in the year 2022, they invested about $280 million to do mining for the titanium. And titanium is a mineral used as a pigment in house paint,